talk about tents.
I have. I've only made one video that went extremely viral about it.
But maybe don't note a particular race.
There you go. Thanks, police officer. Thank you so much. He's like, well, when you're posting online, you can talk about tents. I'm the police officer. I'm going to tell you what you can talk about. You can talk about tents, but maybe don't bring up the specific race of the person. Again, what the fuck is this person's job? Pardon the language, but like this needs to be underlined and like exclamation pointed. What is the job of this police officer? Protect, serve, tell you what you're allowed to talk about on social media. What the fuck with the coffee? What? I can't drink coffee at 8 o'clock? All right, let's get this first video up here. Let's react. Wasaga Beach incident. TikToker gets a door knocker from police.
These people right here, you're gross. She's seen that they were using this as a washroom. Pooping on beaches seems to be very common. You guys need to know what you're running into when you come to Wasaga Beach. And it's not locals doing it. It is people coming from out of town, and it is immigrants that think it's okay to dig a hole, pop a squat, and bury their poop. Where kids play in the sand.
And I just want to point out how that's like just such a basic take that most of the country would agree with. And we're going to see she's getting like picked on for this.
For saying that, this woman named Natasha, who on TikTok goes by Natty Lynn, received a visit from an OPP officer.
There is somebody called in about somebody posting things on TikTok about East Indians defecating on the beach.
Whoa, slow down. Lots to unpack there. First of all, so there already is anonymous tattletaling that's happening. That a police is going to show up to your door because you said something about immigrants. What? Way more people should be outraged by this. Because, I'll talk to people about Bill C-63 and how terrible it is, and they'll agree, but they'll say, oh, that's too absurd. That's not going to pass. Stuff like this is already happening. This bill would just make it worse. This bill would just make it like even a more developed ecosystem for people to tattletale on others for having the wrong opinion or saying something about immigrants. It's already happening. The police are already like showing up like dogs to be like, oh, someone said that you said something about immigrants. What the fuck is the purpose of this police officer right now? Is it, and of course, for everyone in the chat, you probably already get this, but shitting on white people basically happens every day on the CBC by Justin Trudeau. Like it's implied everywhere. Like our entire leftist news media in Canada just oozes this sort of anti-whiteness or feel guilty for being white. It's like standard all across the country in popular news media. Can I call the police and be like, hey, you need to arrest Rosemary Barton. You need to show up to Justin Trudeau's house. He said that unvaccinated people are despicable. Like the double standard is obvious. Like it's almost at the point where it's like, do I even have to mention it? But it should be mentioned. It should be emphasized in the spirit of self-respect and honoring, just the truth of the situation. Because this is totally insane. This police officer has been trained. This police officer has been trained and coached to say, hey, did you say something bad about immigrants or brown people, white person on the internet? We got a 10-4 here. We got to take her down. She's resisting.
Somebody posting things on TikTok
about
East Indians defecating on the beach,
which I'm entitled to.
What's so creepy to me about this? This is like a sentiment I get from family members or close friends sometimes. They'll say, Greg, someone that we know saw what you posted on Instagram. Okay. And okay, they're fragile. I get it. This is what I do for a living. People like what I say. Oh, they disagreed. All right. Like, why are you talking to me like this is like a problem? Like I'm in the principal's office. Like we have to sit down and talk about this. That attitude makes me sick. It makes me sick because it just goes to show how deep the demoralization of Canadians are, where they've adopted the, you know, social acceptability of like, we need to go along to get along, to the, oh, I saw what someone posted and it made me uncomfortable. You know, it's like, you know, I don't believe in violence, but like these people need to be slapped in the face and be like, hey, shut the fuck up. Maybe there's a lot of people who agree with this first. And even aside from that, it's like, do we live in a free country anymore? You know, where we can just like say what we want? Duh. Like the whole premise of like complaining and whinging and whining about it is just so annoying to me. And I got to say, who do you think does this? It's mostly white people who feel guilty about being white. It's mostly people who are like, you know, completely indoctrinated and brainwashed. Do you think any of the new immigrants or even just like people who are non-white in Canada really give a shit if I have some strong opinion? Probably the only ones who do are like, you know, university educated, indoctrinated as well. Oh, what they said is problematic. Oh, they're not going to get a job with an opinion like that. It's like, take a look around. You know, like read the room. This whole mentality is just like ruining Western society. I feel like that's not even that too far of an exaggeration. Let's see what this cop has to say.
I wasn't being racist. My daughter's Indian. My baby father's Indian. I lived with his family. I wasn't threatening anyone.
There's the excuse. I'm not racist. My baby daddy is Indian. Blah blah blah. She should not have to say this. She sounds like she's on trial, and this is her excuse. She's like, "Hey, I'm not racist. Oh my God, you know, I've slept with an Indian guy before." And you know, hey, she's a sweet woman. At least she's speaking up. At least she's saying something. If you're watching, I'd love to interview you. But I got to say, you know, this attitude is such a problem. Oh, did I say the wrong thing? I'm so sorry. I swear to God, I'm not racist. Then again, to give her some sympathy, when a policeman is at your door, it is pretty intimidating because they do have the authority. Unfortunately, they do have, you know, they have the power to reign over you and screw you over more so than just like some other citizen who's complaining about what you said on the internet, right? You know, so I guess I'll give her some sympathy there. But the best response to something like this is, what are you doing, bud? Is this your job? Is this your job to police me on what I say on social media? You're the social media police? It's literally the thought police. But anyway, let's keep going.
Nothing like that.
I personally have not had any calls for this type of behavior on the beach.
Yeah.
And from what my understanding, it's actually these actual incidents happen sometimes.
Look at the fidgeting here. Look at the fidgeting. This isn't. Oh my God! How can you live with imagine being this police officer? Well, had a tough day today. You know, they said that people are pooping on the beach, and I swear they're not pooping on the beach. I never saw it. Must not be happening.
Yeah.
And from what my understanding, it's actually these actual incidents happened some time ago.
No, it's been recently, and my friend sent me proof a couple days ago, and if I can even she messaged me that her stepdaughter jumped into a hole, and then I went to the beach and filmed all the tents on the beach.
Talk about tents.
I've only made one video that went extremely viral about it.
But maybe don't note a particular race.
There you go. Thanks, police officer. Thank you so much. He's like, well, when you're posting online, you can talk about tents. I'm the police officer. I'm going to tell you what you can talk about. You can talk about tents, but maybe don't bring up the specific race of the person. Again, what the fuck is this person's job? Pardon the language, but like this needs to be underlined and like exclamation pointed. What is the job of this police officer? Protect, serve, tell you what you're allowed to talk about on social media. It's crazy. And it's not just the craziness, but it's almost like it's always a double reaction for me anyway. I can't speak for all you, but for me, it's like the thing we see is crazy. And then the lack of an urgent reaction from more people is also crazy. And then we're watching this, we're seeing this crazy thing. We're seeing like no sort of like strong pushback against the insanity. And then it's like, am I crazy? Like it's so disorienting and so, of course, demoralizing. But I don't know. I'm in a good space right now because I'm finding you do. Austin S just said it's clown world. You kind of do need to embrace the clown world, not accept it, but like embrace the fact that this is almost beyond comedy in terms of how crazy it is. But we need to keep a lightness of spirit because it's going to be a long haul. Okay.
Because I don't want my kids to step in it. My friend's daughter did a couple of days ago.
I don't want anyone I know.
It's a biohazard, and I was not targeting a.
It's a biohazard. That's a great point. I mean, this guy is on such a power trip to like be in there and being like, "Hey, I'm your social media coach. I'm your social media coach. Okay, I'm going to tell you what to post about online." Yeah, free speech is totally intact here in Canada.
Yeah, I'm not here to lecture you.
I know.
And I'm not even.
What? You're not here to lecture you. You were just coaching her on what to say on social media, bro. Which is in a way worse than a lecture, because it's even more pointed and directed and controlling. It's like specifically telling somebody what to say on the internet.
I'm not here to condemn you. I'm here to. Whatever stuff you want to do.
I did nothing wrong. And I'll continue to talk about it because I'm allowed to, but
Good for you. Hey, good. Yay. Good for you. That's the energy. That's the energy. That is the energy. I wish it would have been that energy the whole way through. Why are you here? Why do you care what I posted on the internet? You're a police officer. I didn't commit a crime. Why are you at my house? Why are you at my house right now? Explain yourself. That should be the response. What right do you have to show up to my house just because someone called and said, hey, I said something offensive online? I know my rights. Get the fuck out of here. But good for her that she stood up and said that I've done nothing wrong, because that's absolutely correct. And that's exactly the energy we need more of. But if you're tuning in and you're excited about saving free speech, you want to support what I'm doing, then please contribute to the fundraiser. Go to givesendgo.com/savefreespeech. givesendgo.com/savefreespeech. All these donations are going to help with this documentary, the Save Free Speech documentary, all about exposing the people behind Bill C-63. And we're going to try to make this as big of a success as possible. Not only are we going to expose that this bill is not about protecting kids, but we're going to expose what it's truly about. And it has to do with tyranny. It has to do with, oppressing and suppressing political opposition. Like all the bad things that they talk about in history. And we saw a little taste of that during the trucker convoy. This bill would be the biggest major legislative step to impose authoritarian rule, authoritarian speech laws in Canada. SaveFreeSpeech.ca, givesendgo.com/SaveFreeSpeech. I'm going to be talking about this a lot for the next few months, and I'm hoping that we can make a change, make a difference. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.